Hey everyone, this is Black Irish. Welcome back to the Man Cave. All right, so let's get to the verse video. Modern women say the darndest things. We're going to switch it up a little bit and we're going to bring some common sense. Enjoy.
Okay, let's do a get ready with me to go to the gym and let's talk about the comments under my latest video.
It seems to be a very popular thing, like on TikTok, women doing their makeup or getting dressed while they're talking. I don't get it, but to each his own.
That I'm rashing other women and not supporting other females. So just because we have the same gender, I don't have to support y'all with doing whatever you are doing, which are actually a lot of things I'm not okay with. And maybe that's because I grew up in a different country, in a different culture. But yeah, let's just talk about a few things.
And I agree. That's how life should be. You shouldn't just agree just because everyone else agrees with you. I think that mindset is destructive. Oh, you have to agree with us because you're a woman. You have a vajayjay. Seriously, that's what we're doing? No, that's not how this works. Just like would you like if I would just agree with not her, but would women like if men just agree with everything that men did, no matter how wrong it was? Oh, you'd want things to change. It's ridiculous. You're one of us. You should just agree with us. That hive mindset.
I'm really not supporting. So first thing would be this whole money hungry thing. Like, you are expecting a guy to pay for everything. First of all, you're broke yourself, but you are bashing other guys, that they are broke and that they can't afford this and this.
Exactly. Isn't that funny that you can be broke and then talk about a broke man? Oh, this man doesn't have a house, but you're on Section 8. You want a six-figure man, but you work at Burger King.
Because they can't pay for your Birkin bag or whatever you're expecting from the guy to get paid for. I don't know. This is ridiculous to me. You got two healthy hands, two healthy legs. You can start your own business. You can work. You can make your own money. So I don't understand when that happened. So the second thing would be, I don't know if that's a cultural difference, but in my opinion, women should never fist fight in general. You should not fist fight a man and you should not fist fight with other women. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, I don't understand why is this not being preached? You're a woman. You should not be fighting in the streets. You know how tacky and disgusting that is? I would never date a woman or at least take her seriously if she's fighting in the streets. If you're fighting in the streets and you're with me, then you're not with me. You're actually just someone I'm having fun with. Because I'm not taking you seriously. You're never going to be around my family. You're sure as hell not going to be around my house. Except for the wee hours of the night. All you are is something to have fun with and you toss out. You don't respect someone that doesn't have respect for themselves or the person they're with.
That's some low class shit, and no woman should do that. Neither getting arrested for it or something like that.
Yeah, seriously.
Then the third thing would probably be like overexposure and like over surgery, like, I don't know, getting bodies like completely done, walking around naked outside, like in the gym and the clubs and everything. Like, it's just too much. I mean, I know you all are always telling me, oh, mind your business. I can walk around however I want to walk around. In my opinion, I just think it's not cool. It's not classy. It's ratchet. Sorry, but that's just how it is. And I just think, in my opinion, women should dress differently. So again,
yeah, these are the same women that will wear the tight yoga pants, the ones that are designed for the butt cheeks to make the butt look bigger, little Triforce of Wisdom on the top of the butt crack, and they're super tight to show off their bodies. And then they want to get all insulted when men are looking at it, or slightly looking at it, like just a slight glance, and you want to get views. You did a workout, but we know you want attention.
And this is just my personal opinion. I know there's a lot of women out there that probably support certain values that I also support, and there's a lot of women that don't, and that's totally fine. You can do whatever you want. I'm just telling you, maybe if some of these points apply to you that I just said, change something, work on yourself.
Oh God, well we can't do that. We can't do that anymore. Modern women don't have values, and they don't realize the damage it's causing while you do these things that everyone is trying to warn you and not doing. Oh well, they'll always find out when the wall hits. Let's talk to this lovely lady.
This feminism movement is really designed for the breakdown of families. And what does that mean for a female? It means that you end up being.
If you don't believe it, just look at the 1970s, early 70s, late 60s. Around the time that the welfare came into play and feminism, there was a disconnect between the black man and the black woman. See, we experienced it first, and now it's spreading everywhere like a virus. More powerful than the COVIDs. Hopefully that doesn't get me monetized.
Single, that the system then will support you to a certain extent, but now you have to work. You're having to pay the bills. You're single. You're stressed out. A man is needed in the family setup. The system is not a man. It's not a replacement for a man. Ultimately, you're going to be left in a bigger situation where you're by yourself, raising your kids, struggling to live, struggling to work. For a Muslim woman, our disposition, our fitra, is that we need to be looked after. We need to be nurtured. We need to be provided for. Allah says in the Quran, the men are the protectors and the maintainers of the women, and we're the bent rib. So we can only manage and handle so much as women. It really, long term, is going to do more harm than good, and it is that.
Exactly. All those idiots, well, we don't need men. We don't need the men. If they all disappeared, we'd be happy. Those are the brainwashed idiots that don't even think about it. They're just as stupid as the people who, in politics, you have the left and the right, because they're both idiots. You got the people on the left, abolish the police, because we don't need the police, right? Because you're an idiot, because crime will just stop once the crooked cops disappear with the good cops. And then you, don't get it twisted, because the right's stupid as well. Oh, we need the police. And then you just try to pretend like police brutality is not that big of a deal. Well, it's a few bad apples. No, you're just an idiot.
I'm aging for you.
Likelihood.
But yes, like I was saying before I went on a rant, feminism is a destructive cancer. It destroys everything it touches. And when you get this cancer, you then spread that cancer to the next one, and then the next one, and the next one, telling you that you don't need no man, but you got 4 kids that you got to take care of yourself, and now you're complaining that you have to get a job. And then you want to complain and say there's no good men out there. We have been working together as a species for years. And all they had to do was tell women, well, tell modern women at least, because the smart women aren't doing this. Modern feminism women pretty much are going out there, spreading this cancer, ruining lives, and then going on TikTok to not hold feminism responsible. There are some that are saying that feminism lied to us. But a lot of them will still blame men because accountability no longer exists. Kind of like the word racism. They made sure to throw that into the faces over and over again to the point that no one cares about it. So when real racism happens, like the boy who cried wolf.
A man finding a wife in the United States is shrinking. The probability of a man finding a woman who doesn't prioritize independence as her single most important life goal is only 14%. The definition of success for...
And that's the other thing that nobody wants to talk about. They like to say, oh, you're threatened by a strong, independent woman. You can still be a strong and independent woman and still want and need a man. Just like a man wants and needs you. Once you talk about you're strong, independent, and you no longer need a man, there's no reason for him to want to pursue you. That's his job, is to be needed, to be protected. But instead of listening to what's been working for generation after generations, you listen to what the media, what the government, and feminism told you. And we're having the lowest rates of marriages and birth rates in the history of mankind.
Most women does not
least
include
in the
me,
United
but
States.
here's the kicker. Amidst these facts, these women says becoming the mom is priority. Let that sink in. Now let's restate this information in reverse. Women say becoming a mom is priority. Women define success as being single. Women's most important goal is being independent from a man. Now what does this way of thinking create? Single moms. Who is responsible for this indoctrination and who is reaping the benefit? Well, in the United States, women make up more than half of the US population and control or influence 85% of the consumer spending, which ranges from 5 trillion to 15 trillion annually. Single women are big business, so women will sacrifice marriage, but the desire for children remains.
Isn't that something? That's why everything is towards women. When you're buying something, it's for women. When it's daytime television, it's for women. It's who? Why? Because most women were at home. And most women are usually the ones at home watching the daytime nonsense. And it's always pushing female agendas. I can remember back in the late 90s, early 2000s, when they were pushing for women to leave the house, leave taking care of the family, and get out there and get a job and an education. This happened in the late 90s, early 2000s. I remember this. It would be on the WB, watching all those dumb shows like Maury and Jerry Springer. And watching those shows, in between, it was like every commercial had a video of a woman telling him, you should get back into college. You should go to college. You should go to get a job. Why does he get to work? You should be going to work too. They were already pushing that. This was early 2000s. Now it's to the point that women don't even care about their children anymore. They want to have children because their internal clock, it's just women are just designed to want children. But what ends up happening is they put all the other priorities first. We now tell them that a nuclear family doesn't make any sense, but being a single mom does. But then again, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to find the video and I'm going to make a video on that. It was a documentary on the black community. I think it was in the 70s. It had the Pookies and Ray Rays. And it was seeing the women who basically would rather have a child than marry the man because it would be more responsibility if I got married.
Fellas, now you know who you're fighting against. Now you know what our women are drawn to, and they're getting hooked as early as 18. So why the fuck are you waiting on women age before you try your hand?
Let it rock. He's absolutely 100% correct, and big ups to this guy. I'm going to put a link to the description box for this guy. He's got some really excellent content. We're going down a downward spiral, and it's only getting worse. If you can't stop it now, it's never going to stop. It's already going downhill, and it's slippery. You just have to act accordingly. It is what it is. You can't stop them. They have to stop themselves. If they don't, then they fall forever. We're losing families more and more because of this nonsense. I'm just hoping that one day we'll be able to get back and stop letting the government control our lives. But unfortunately, until that day happens, until the courts stop intervening with marriages, with children, it's not going to stop. And unfortunately, the people themselves don't have the spine to stand up against it. Well, that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed the show. Like, share, and subscribe. To all my returning viewers, always good to hear from you. Any new people, always appreciated. All right, till next time, the Man Cave is always open. Have a good night, everyone. Take it easy.